this is arguably could be the first time they've even been on a LAN. This is a side who have come out of absolutely nowhere.
Yep.
But these young players looking to take a turn here. As you mentioned, they can find double digits against a 24th ranked team in the world. Well, they're not going to say no to that, but of course, round number one gets underway. It's Copenhagen Flames starting on that T side and Aura on the CT side.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, this is probably, if Aura could pick a map that they would want to play, it's this one. It's their best win rate on HLTV. It's the one they've played the most as well. I mean, honestly, don't count them out of this one doing something pretty incredible against Copenhagen Flames, because sure, Copenhagen Flames themselves have got a good record on this map, but this is genuinely a real good shot for Aura to put up a good performance here. It's their most comfortable one by far. They'll be delighted they've got it in a best of one, so who knows? The early strategy from Copenhagen Flames is pretty decent one. It will force the CTs back toward the site, but at the moment, with some short control by Yabi, what more can they get from it?
Yeah, we talk about young superstars, where Yabi is definitely one to keep an eye on. This man is a completely different beast at times, and one to keep an eye on. Just signed a new deal as well with this Copenhagen Flames side, so of course confidence is an all-time high for him.
Oh, that's damage early on towards Zen, down to 21 HP. And he's under a bit of pressure. There's some damage onto Hooksy as well. They do have flashes and utility to work this one out. It's going to be a tough one to deal with, but Cranston always gets two beautiful shots from him. Hooksy will trade it. 3 versus 4. Bomb is dropped on the site. Can they recover it and get it planted? Oh, so much damage done from Hype. He will deal with Hooksy in the end. Zen is still alive on that 21 HP. Nico has no choice but to strafe around the site and get the bomb planted. Yabi is in bathroom, but there's no one coming from behind. It's basically going to be all down to Nico and Yabi in this one. That's the first. Looking for a second, but he's low HP. He can afford to go for this trade quickly, but eventually he will get taken down. Gets 2 in the end, though. A good clear from Shine. Yabi goes down, and that will mean that somehow Aura just about get away with the pistol.
Oh, it took about a nice retake there. Well, with too many players, they're going to make it work in their favour. The Aura get off to a fantastic start. The young Swedes doing what they do best, just causing an issue, causing a problem. There's a reason why they're here at IEM Fall. They're not just a side who are lucky to have the opportunity. They deservedly are in this position. They made it through the qualifier and took down some really serious opponents. And, well, they're looking to do more of the same here. While G2 may have been a step too far, Copenhagen Flames could be in a realm of possibility.
Yeah, and of course, when you get the bomb planted, you can afford to go for cheeky buys on the T side, and they're already going to get 3 rifles from it. And they're even going to get an MP5 on Roy as well. That's an interesting choice. You don't see many MP5s around these days. But Aurora having they'd be delighted with that start. That is probably the best they could have hoped for. Some confidence as well. It wasn't just won by a bit of a messy round. It was clean headshots, especially by Fransson as well. And yeah, as I mentioned, this is their best map statistically. So they'll be over the moon that they've got it in a best of one. Who knows what they can put on the table in the next few minutes. Hooksy's got creeping toward Monster, will show himself to the player jump spotting barrel. Bubek is just hiding on the site right now, and because of that, Copenhagen Flames just looking for a pick, but they're not going to take anything immediately as of yet.
Yeah, for the time being. All a little bit slow in the server. Niklas trying to find his way forward. Of course, that bomb plant does allow them somewhat of a better buy. And that's what we're seeing here. It's a mixed buy to the least, but they can still make it work by any means. Niklas AK in hand is always a threat. Of course, usually the primary AWPer, but we're not going to come out with an AK in hand. Waiting and holding the Hype will be tested here.
Oh, there goes the MP5. It's looking to try and do damage, but it's not going to do anything. Only a little bit towards Hype. There's Zyphon there. That's a great frag on the Deagle, and there's Nico on the AK, the forced-up AK. 4 versus 3 already. The Copenhagen Flames are forcing straight back on this one, as you would expect. Smoke coming in for green bin, which means Zen can only spray through the smoke. There's no way the Copenhagen Flames will give anything to Aura in this situation. You have to force them to peek into you. And they're going to probably try and save these 3 FAMASs. The 3 French guns have no choice probably to fall back. They are sticking around though. There has been some damage done, so they'll be a little bit concerned, maybe, that they'll keep going into this one. But with M4, A1S is recovered. Hooksy even more bangs down Zen. That is very nice indeed. And Nico will finish it off. As we would expect, they survive with 2 of the rifles and hit straight back.
1-1. That's exactly how to resurge. Just go for something aggressive. Guarantee a bomb getting planted. And of course, once you set up those post-plant positions over towards that site, it's very difficult at times to get that retake working on. All you can have to do is just sit and wait, right? I mean, of course, you've got so much cover over towards that site. You just have to play time to your favour. That's exactly what they do. Copenhagen Flames tie things up one apiece, and of course Aura, it's back to the drawing board, back to a tough buy to the least, as they're just going to bring out the Deagles, that 1 P250, and whatever armor and utility they can muster up with their low economy.
Yeah, and this is something that I've spoke about in a couple of our other 2 best of ones today. We're over halfway now. Neo, it's gone like a flash.
Yes, mate.
But yeah, the Deagles forcing it up in the current meta, of course, is to keep the buys going, keep forcing on each other before one of them finally breaks the 2 rounds in a row. But at the moment, with the way the Deagle is, I'm not sure how long that will stay in fashion, because I just feel as though if you can save and get the silence timber falls, maybe in the 2nd or the 4th, which it would be in this situation, it will put you in much better stead. Then it's toward the tree, gets 1 in the end, actually does make a headshot, but Roy will always trade that one immediately. So 1 for 1 is probably the best you can hope for in that situation. So they have a chance still going forward, especially with Franston in this close spot toward the divider. So still scary angles for Copenhagen Flames to worry about, but they're playing the long ranges as they should against these pistols.
Yeah, for the time being, Copenhagen Flames, they know they've definitely got the firepower in their advantage, so all they have to do is wait for the positions to, work in their favour, and so far so good. 4 versus 4, the Deagles are posted up in somewhat inopportune positions. They can be very quickly dropped out of their positions. It's very much relying on a little bit of RNG work in their favour, but an overextension, and Zyphon will punish with ease as the utility floods its way forward, a smoke and a molly to force Shine out into the open. Forward from Dice, and now he's stuck in no man's land. It's a one and done position, and that is completely done and dusted. 2 remain alive. Aura. This can be Copenhagen Flames finding a 2nd here with relative ease.
Yeah, it should be a pretty simple one in this situation. The 2 deals will probably have to be saved. It's the only 2 things they'll have in the next round. If they don't save them, they'll be left with absolutely nothing. Full eco, and let Copenhagen Flames go up to 3. So it's an important save. Nico has got 5 kills already in this game. I mentioned look out for him and Roy, and already Nico is showing up. I've known Nico for quite a long time. It's great to see him getting through the ranks and making it now to a LAN and technically a major qualifier. So it's crazy to see how far he's come in this Copenhagen Flames roster in general. And it'll be fantastic to see how much further they can go, because of course they did win their first match against Fun Plus Phoenix. It was a great win on Vertigo. So it's if they can get a 2-0 to start off, that would be a dream start for this roster.
In terms of current form, I think arguably Copenhagen Flames are one of, if not the most favoured sides to sort of get through. I would heavily sort of bank on them making it forward. Their run of form as of late has just been nothing short of spectacular. And we mentioned that this is, the peak of Copenhagen Flames, the highest rank they've ever been, 24th in the world. It only seems to be, just a stepping stone to further improving, breaking into towards that top 20. And I think a big factor of that is that Copenhagen Flames have played the 2nd most maps since 2021 started of any team or any level from, sort of like tier 5 upwards. It's Copenhagen Flames and Tropic and Skate. They are the 3 teams, or when I last checked, that had played the most maps, and of course it's obviously working. Their new roster changes, or I say new, it actually was now a fair amount of time ago, a month and a bit ago, but that roster change, that made those changes, Asilian drop him out, and of course the likes of Roy coming in, Zyphon, Hooksy. I mean, it's only been for the better. They just look like a completely revitalized roster, and as you mentioned, picking up a first win already in IEM Fall, and they're favoured to pick up a 2nd here. I mean, that'd be just a beaut.
Yeah, and I mean, how I mentioned earlier on that, Skade, who we saw earlier, were basically the kings of Tier 2 for a good period of time earlier on in the year. Well, Copenhagen Flames have put their foot forward for being the kings of Tier 2 at the moment in the current situation in the last few weeks, because, I mean, they've taken down Skade, Havu, Fiend, the new Zero Nation squad as well, in, best of 3 series, and they've beaten Fun Plus Phoenix, they've beaten Go in recent times, so they are really one of the teams to beat at this level if you want to make your way through these sort of qualifiers. So it's great experience for Aura. They've already had the painful experience of playing against G2, which, as you can imagine, was an absolute walkover. But it's all an experience for them. And now they have more to face against the Danish roster of Copenhagen Flames, who are really looking fantastic at this moment in time.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Flames, as you mentioned, some of the teams they've taken down have been nothing short of monumental, and the ones they've lost to as well, you can't really fault them too much. I mean, the most recent loss was that of Lyngby Vikings, a side who I have to say is one to keep an eye on. Of course, not here for the time being, but they look absolutely ridiculous so far. They've with the addition of Wolfie coming in, the Swedish NA guy. I guess it's one of NA's only claims at the moment with the scene not looking too favourable. He's been just an absolute star-studded player so far, and before that is Virtus Pro as well as the only other loss. So things are looking very good, but I think if I'm right in saying we are in a tech pause and maybe throwing it to a very, very brief break. Well, hopefully we get this one sorted and back underway momentarily. Well, only a brief break before we get back underway. Round number 4 about to get started as Copenhagen Flames lead 2-1. It's a tentative lead, but the Danes are starting to look as dominant as we know they can be.
Yeah, absolutely. And already we're in a situation where Aura have to full eco, and I feel like that might not be the first time that Aura have to full eco in this matchup. And it looks like Copenhagen Flames are already going to take aggressive control towards shore. Oh, a nice run boost across Monster. Zyphon will check for it anyway and take him down, but they are walking into the stack. They need to be a little bit careful in the situation, and there we go. Frags are coming in with these pistols. There's a lot of damage that's been done, and the grenade from Hooksy will finish off at Bobek, so that should be enough, especially with Hooksy getting a second. And that Mac 10, Yavi can help out from short, and that should be the situation done and dusted. There we go. Yavi gets himself another one. 2 on the round for him, and that grenade proved to be a good settler in that situation.
Things looking very good already. 3-1, and of course that was just an eco for Aura, so expected that it will play into the hands of the Flames, but I mean they comfortably dispose of it. And just like that, things already looking very, very good. The long-term economy for the T side in a pretty stable state. And of course, not the same situation at all for Aura. They will be able to muster up a full buy at the very least. And of course, it is those new and improved M4A1Ss coming into the fray. Quadri's coming forward. Nikodos already going to be disposed of. Hype was ready and waiting. Nikodos went for the peak, and Hype, easy pickings.
That's a double dink from a very, very long way away, and gets himself the opening frag. Of course, Hooksy will recover that AWP. No point in leaving that one on the ground. So that is a truly remarkable opener for Aura. We love to see that. It's exactly the kind of thing they need to get themselves off to good starts on their CT buy rounds, which are going to be so crucial for them. As we can see, this buy is already a little bit limited on utility. They've only got a couple of smokes remaining with 1 minute and 12 on the clock, but they do have that opening pick, so it is pretty important for them. Double set up towards long as well for Copenhagen Flames to figure out. There's another player on the site jump spotting mid as well, so if they are going to be walking into this stack, Aura, they are pretty much perfectly set for this.
Yeah, so far, so good. Hang on a second here. Hype could catch one more off guard. He's already off to a fly. Will he clear the close angle? He does brilliantly. Roy out of the equation. That's a huge frag to pick up. Roy, arguably the MVP of this Danish roster. And to find him, as well as the Orb of Nikodos, already off to a flyer. Now, Franson, re-peeking. They've got this long control in their favor. They know they have to be coming from bathroom or short. And well, it's all about whether they can convert it. From Dunsper, holding, finding Zen, and converting as well. One by one, for the Flames are being picked apart.
Yeah, it's just a little bit, a little bit split up here for Copenhagen Flames. Not what you kind of expect from them, and they're getting exposed by Aura in this one. That's what happens, even against a team that you may have never heard of before. If you make mistakes at this level, it can really come back to haunt you. Only 7 seconds left from the clock for Jebby to try and do some damage, and he can only get one. So, second round on the board for Aura, not bad. They'll be content with this early start already. It should be. Oh, we're about to see the double link again. Let's see. Okay, boosted up, and bye-bye, sir. No more AWP madness for you. Unfortunate. That's the kind of thing you don't expect. If you boost the AWP for the first time, on the on the T side buy, it's basically a really early choice or early time in the game to do it, and you just get owned like that. That's you can't do that again, basically for the rest of the half. So it's pretty ridiculous. But Zora will be happy, as I said, and now Hype on the AWP. We'll have to see what he can do.
Yeah, I think what you said, right? I mean, for the likes of Nikodos, it's definitely something that's going to play in his mind now, right? Because he knows, hang on a second, if I try to go for that quad boost, they could just be waiting for me. Hooksy read that so well. Oh, that's a brilliant way to find an opening kill. And of course, now at the back of that, they can start to convert that into a round, use it as a catalyst as they push their way forward. Jabby spotting one more, not going to be able to convert, however. Takes a good chunk of damage as well. Now needs to be extra careful not to drop and lose this man advantage. 5 versus 4. And with Copenhagen Flames only having a 1-round lead, it's a lot of pressure on their shoulders.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is it's early on in the game, but you've sort of got the feeling, inside of you that you should be winning this easily. And when you have the feeling inside that you know you should be winning, even so early doors, it can sort of prey on your mind a little bit. Sure, against Fun plus Phoenix, I would say that was pretty much a 50-50 game. Anyone could have won that one. And that sort of makes you feel a little bit more comfortable in the situation you find yourself in. And here comes the AWP of Hype. Oh, he's so close up, but he's helped out by Franston. How about that hold? Hooksy will trade the AWP though, and with Franston so low, it should be an easy find, and it is. But there's one more player on the site to be wary of. 25 seconds to go. Hooksy's creeping up towards the side. Who are they finding on this peak? It's going to be Zen. Oh, he only just gets the one. Ooh. Nico just manages to trade it. Now it's all down to Shine, but look at the HP on Nico and Yabi. They're really disconnected right now. Nico needs to be careful. He's looking toward back, misses the shot. That means Shine can push a bit further. And look at the bomb. It's on the side, dropped in the open. Can Shine get this 1 versus 2? That's all down to Nico, but he's played it to perfection, using the sight boxes beautifully. And Nico gets caught out. Shine with 2 frags in the 1v2. That is a recovery and a half.
That is how you play a 1 versus 2. Shine, that is just skill beyond your years. What a performance. In a 1 versus 2, it's all about the isolation of fights. Hooksy got off to a flying start here. That wallbang converting is brilliant, but Shine, this is nothing short of spectacular. Isolates it brilliantly, swings actively into Yabi, finds that fight, and then of course against an AWP, playing the off angle. Oh, that's a brilliant way to tie this game up 3 rounds apiece. And Trav, we may have expected Copenhagen Flames to sort of walk over this young Swedish side. Well, they're putting up quite the fight so far.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, I mean, Aura in a best of 1, they've got their best map. Like, they've got their best map out of everything in the pool in this best of 1. So it's scary for Copenhagen Flames. I mean, alone Aura are doing everything right. That clutch from Shine was absolutely spot on. And I mean, the fact the bomb was dropped in the position that it was dropped for Copenhagen Flames is unlucky. But at the end of the day, they did the damage required to put Shine in that position. So it was a lovely clutch from him, using the sight, the little bin on the edge of the default dice to perfection. And that forces Copenhagen Flames down to pistols. So Aura should get their 4th here and retake the lead and be at good strength when it comes to their economy as well.
Yeah, so far, so good. Of course, Copenhagen Flames, it is just going to be this eco buy. Pistols trying to find something. Of course, the priority is a bomb plant, but easy pickings. The M4A1S just cleaning up, and a 3K already picked up by Bob XD. It's already falling into place, and Roy left in a 1 versus 5, a Glock in hand. And, well, Trav, let's be real, he's not going to find anything here. He's not going to find a 1 versus 5 with a Glock in hand and 58 HP.
I mean, he's got some information. He spots one, but now it's all been revealed. He's about to find 3 players, and it's going to be the grenade anyway. Screw the bullets. The grenade can do the damage, and it will do. That's 4th frag for Bobek, and I have to say, it's looking very, very clean indeed at the moment for them. Copenhagen Flames need to get a stranglehold in this one. Of course, we've seen how CT-sided this map can be, so they won't be panicking just yet. They'll be very confident in their CT side, of course, with how good Nico can be on the AWP. But yeah, this is a quick bit of an iffy start at the moment for them. Or we'll be very happy with the way they've completed these first few rounds. The clutch from Shine, I'll be thinking about that for a while. I mean, he's 18.
Yeah,
I mean,
crazy.
Like, it's these guys, right? They are. I mean, average age of the whole team is under 20, like 19.8 or something like that. So they're playing a LAN probably for the first time as a group of these. And goodness me, I mean, showing maturity beyond their years at the moment.
Yeah, I know, exactly that. And there's one thing I was thinking. Do you think we can, this might be a little bit of a stretch. Can we make the argument that Aura technically got the home field advantage? I mean, they're in their own country. Is that too much of a stretch? France flies the first, and it's Roy dropped out of the equation.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge pick as well. I would say home field advantage, it would count if there was a crowd right now. I would say the fact there isn't is I mean, it's less trouble traveling. It probably didn't have to take a plane, to get to this position, or get to this place, I should say, to get to Stockholm. So I would say that's probably not a factor, but tell you what is a factor. These angles being held towards short, there's no way you can get away from that. If you are Copenhagen Flames, that is a spot that I play myself on the B side of Monster towards short, and it always works out perfectly if it's not checked clearly or cleared by flashes, and they go dry and they're punished for it. Hype pelts up with the AWP. It's only Nico remaining, and I would imagine, even with 34 seconds to go, he'll have to look to try and save.
It's probably the smart decision, but saying that he's been spotted now low on HP. Surely they go hunting. Oh, they're going to find the kill. And off the time, in fact. If I'm right in saying that they got him off the... Oh, no. Well, either way...
Bit of a bug with the clock, don't worry.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was definitely way too quick. But either way, Bob XD really well played. Again, and he's a player who... has been coming alive a bit, right? Bob XD, he found a 3k last round and then a 2k just then, both times in towards short wards. And we spoke about this earlier when we were talking about, the likes of Fiend and Skade, right? On the CT side, I like to see CT aggression, especially towards short wards. I think arguably, in my opinion, it's a priority. When you play on that CT side of Overpass, you need to be getting short wards under your control. I know you may drop a player in doing so, but double stacking in is worth it just for the information alone. You can cut off rotations into towards Monster, cut off rotations into towards Connector, and because of that, so much of, I guess, the round could go in your favor. That control is monumental. Either way, though, 5-3, a 2-round lead, and of course, it is a CT-sided map, but so far, so good for Aura.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I keep mentioning that they've managed to get their best map in the best of one, and that can be fantastic for them. I'm just going to talk you through a little bit of the teams they've beaten on this map. I mean, they're best for a reason. They've beaten the Echo Bulls on this map. They lost the series, I believe, but they beat One Win, who are a top 30 team. They beat Offset. They beat Saw. They lost to Ent 16-7, but still, that's something you'd expect. And they beat Team Finest as well, who are a very good team at the moment. So, it's really impressive results for them. And it's showing right now how they could easily put one over Copenhagen Flames. It probably would be their biggest scalp so far, but still, it's a fantastic start for them. Copenhagen Flames back to pistols.
Imagine the scenes, Trav. If Aura managed to pull off this, I mean, that'd be something special, to say the least. The 24th best team in the world, a team who's been on fire recently. I mean, that'd be crazy. But of course, well, it's crazy. The pistol's going for the aggressive peak. Heist wants the information, gonna fall away. A Molotov dropped, and Hooksy sitting in it, taking already a decent amount of damage, and actually just gonna fall away. Didn't want to fester in the flames, and well, it's gonna be the flames who are forced into a rotation.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty funny, wasn't it? We'd say one Molotov has forced them all away, and they're going to choose Bartham's instead. 4 players are here looking to try and pounce with these Tech 9s, but they're going to fall back off of it. Down connector we go. This door will be opened in a few seconds' time. Tech 9 shots ready to be fired off. Tech 9 can be an incredibly scary pistol at the moment. One hit headshot, of course, from close range, and they'll be able to take short successfully. With 50 seconds to go, the one thing they need to be aware of, there's a player in T-spawn. That is Bobek again. He's having a fantastic game so far. Shoots spot 1, there's the damage, and he gets the spray just about toward Nico. So that is a settler if you are Aura, for sure.
Yeah, so the least. That's already a pretty decent start. 5 versus 4. In a pretty decent position, so the least. Of course, slightly expected. I think we'd all agree with the low buy of the Flames, and of course the early information over towards Long. did make quite a difference. Now they're trying to go for a rotation, but the map control that Aura have got currently has left them in a pretty strong standing. They don't need to overextend. They don't need to do anything spectacular. All they have to do is just hold and wait.
Yeah, this is where inexperience can sometimes come back to bite you, but they're showing experience on the ears at the moment. With only 7 seconds to go, they have to go quickly here, and they will do just that. They walk into the rifles, they walk into the crossfire. You can't afford to die after time when you have just the pistols, otherwise you won't be able to buy in the next round. So they had to be quick with that one. They were. Fortunately, they'll get nothing from it. But Aura looking very solid. Bubik is up to 12-4. This is a bit scary now. They have double the score of Copenhagen Flames early on. Timeout coming in. Discussion probably to find out exactly what they want to do to overcome this one. And yeah, I'll preface what I said earlier about Aura's record. You know, on Overpass, Copenhagen Flames are good on Overpass as well. I mean, like, it's not like it's a bad map. And they're a better team for a reason. And they've beaten, as I mentioned, teams like Skade, Fiend, one win Dignitas on this map. So it's a good map. But at the same time, the start that we've had from Aura is something very impressive. And these are some players that you would expect to probably see in the future, you know, but at the moment for them, the future is now.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'd love to, you know, these guys you mentioned, they're essentially brand new on the scene, right? They've came out of nowhere. We do see these sides from time to time who just come out of nowhere and do get this just strong run of momentum. This is exactly what we're seeing, and it's brilliant to see, you know, young talent who are the future and maybe even potentially the face of CSGO looking long term. It's great seeing the strong standing and Shine doing what he does best, finding the kill, finding the bomb, and think about how tough things become now. Roy sitting in the Molotov and down 17 points of health. He's going to be hyping Francis on cleanup, and this is just brilliant. Aura are, without a shadow of a doubt, outplaying their opponents, and Hype no-scoping just to add insult to injury.
That is incredible. I mean, the timeout came in from Copenhagen Flames clearly to decide how they want to take middle, because we saw 2 players aggress in that situation. Look what Aura do. Their strategy in response is literally W up long, and it catches off Copenhagen Flames completely. I mean, the fact that they do so much damage to Roy means that the grenade is an easy cleanup, and now it's all Yabi, and he's on the site with no bomb. And it's basically all down to damage for him, because look at the amount of economy that Aura are building up right now. They've got 9k on Bubek, they've got 7 on Shine, Hyper's got 8. This is pretty disgusting right now. And we're in a situation at the moment where, you know, who knows, really. We've got a bit of a timeout, I believe, at the moment. Unfortunately, I have a bit of a technical issue on my end, so I can't see what's going on at the moment. Hopefully, it'll be fixed in a moment. I can't give you a radio cast, I'm afraid. If you can still hear me, I apologise, but we have no picture at the moment. So we'll be back with you in a few seconds' time. Hopefully, it won't be too long. At the moment, it looks like it'll be a guaranteed round for Aura, of course, considering Yabi is it was only in a 1v5, so that's what we had before. It will be a likely situation where the main source of goal is damage, because the economy is such a fantastic spot for Aura. We will be getting back in the pictures for us in a couple of seconds' time. It is a bit of a tech pause, so won't be missing anything, thankfully. Production doing a very good job for us right now. I mean, informing us exactly what's going on. I really appreciate that. And yeah, it will be another round for Aura and a buy round as well. Neo, that strategy of rushing 2 players toward long just completely caught out Copenhagen Flames.
Again, I think Copenhagen Flames are overcomplicating things at times. You know, Aura in a really strong position, 7-3, where overall things are looking very good for them. They don't need to do anything special at the moment, really. You know, the young Swedes, they do have this sort of air of unknown about them. I think that's such a big factor, because, I mean, how does Copenhagen Flames even counter-strike them? They're a side who do actually like to counter-strike, hence their most recent success. They like to play on the weaknesses of their opponent, but, you know, for Aura, who's a new side, barely playing in any European tournaments, you know, of course, had a few games in advance, but it's not really the most information to go off the back of. I mean, overall, there's not a lot that really Copenhagen Flames can do too much in this sort of situation, and because of that, that's why Aura now really causing quite the issue. 7-3 in the scoreline, and looking forward, well, Flames, they need to make a change.
Absolutely, and looks like we have pictures back, so we'll be underway very shortly, I hope, guys. No reason to wait too long. And yeah, I mean, that's the sort of thing that can completely take you by surprise, right? I mean, you have a situation where Copenhagen Flames have just gone for a timeout. They look deciding and discussing exactly what they want to do. And Aura just say, okay, I would imagine you're going to go for some sort of tactical play now. You've just talked about it. It's not going to be something fast. Let's just push aggressively toward long and try and catch you out. And with 2 players, that insurance policy always go for the buddy system, works out to absolute perfection. We do believe our current problem is there is a player restarting their computer, so that won't be again too long until we can get started again. It will be a pretty nice time for us to talk about Aura, because I mentioned at the moment that really the only thing we've seen them in has been this qualifier and ESEA Advanced playoffs. I've been following ESEA Advanced, on my own personal stream and various other streams for a very, very long time, and they just sort of popped out of nowhere this season and put some results through against some very, very good teams. And as we said, like, this is a shock, but this is what you can do with online CS these days. You can come out of nowhere sometimes and really make a name for yourself.
I think as well that these guys, right, Aura, of course, as you mentioned, they sort of come out of nowhere. I know in the sort of Swedish scene, they are to a degree sort of known, right? I think they're players coming through, which some of the resident pros on, like sort of esports, they have a very good understanding of these guys because they play on their own sort of domestic servers and leagues in that sense. But they're now getting this, this showing when it comes to the bigger stage, and so far so good as they lead 7-3 over the 24th ranked team in the world. Early utility coming forward. And for Copenhagen Flames, coming into round number 11, it's once again just the upgraded pistols. Triumph, they're in a really tough spot here.
Yeah, I mean, and look at Roy as well. I mean, we mentioned him beforehand about how he's one of the stars for this team. He's only got 1 kill on the board in round number 11, so he's struggling in this one at the moment. And Copenhagen Flames, they need their team fragging as a group to to really do work on the T side of Overpass. It's that sort of map. And this is a tough situation for them at the moment. They need to find some sort of solution, because at the moment, Aura, they're pushing when they should push and they're holding when they should hold. And that can be hard to get past on the CT side of Overpass.
Yeah, for the time being, no real need to do anything too extravagant the CT side. They're already in a strong position. They know they most likely have the weapon advantage, and actually high. Oh, it's so aggressive, but it's just brilliant. Roy, he's had a tough start, and it's been made even tougher. Easy pickings for the young Orba to find an open, and of course the util damage to follow suit. Nikinos down to 73 points of health. Everything seems to be working out for Aura so far.
Yeah, it's disgusting, and we're in a situation now where a bomb plant would be fantastic, but look where Franson is. This should easily stop it from happening. Looking for the first, gets it, drops the bomb, Hooksy manages to trade it, and now the smokes are up, so they might be able to make it happen. They might be able to get it, and that will be pretty good for their economy going forward, to be fair. But in a 3v4, Zyman has managed to find himself one of those AKs, but it'll be taken out of his hands immediately by Hype with the headshot on the AWP. There's one player close toward Bank, but the flash is brilliant. He's absolutely full blind. Another quick scope for him. Now it's all down to Nico. 1 versus 4, just a deal. Bomb's not even planted for him properly. Gets the first. Nice shot. But Hype once again on the AWP makes it happen. 8-3. They've won the half already, Neo.
Yeah, they have already off to an absolute flying start. I mean, things are looking brilliant for Aura. A 5-round lead in Copenhagen Flames. They are being, without a shadow of a doubt, put in their place so far. I mean, the CT side are controlling everything. They're dictating their play style. And despite Copenhagen Flames being on the T side, of course, it is arguably seen as the more uncomfortable side to be on. Aura are in complete control. There's nothing the Flames can do so far. And of course, off the back of that, well, things are already playing into their face. They've won the half, but can they cause even more damage? Can they find double digits?
That would be insane. I mean, we saw earlier on that Skade, dropped 10-5 to Fiend, but they still managed to win out. So, I mean, if you were Copenhagen Flames, you wouldn't panic, but you'd still want, 4 or 5 at least on this half to keep yourself in touch. Because if Aura can somehow get 11 or 12, that is very, very dangerous indeed. It doesn't give you much room for maneuver. And not enough room really for dropping too many rounds on a critical half. So Aura in a fantastic spot right now. They've got another nice little setup going toward long. One checking toward long bathrooms, one holding the long range angle, and Nika could be about to peek into it here. He's going to stick toward Party instead, smartly, because he would be certainly out of the round if he peeked toward long dry without any utility. So they are slowing down the clock. Copenhagen Flames are really taking their time on this one, and you can understand why. 50 seconds to go. Just trying to clear these angles. Roy, oh, look at that. I mean, he goes for the peak. His crosshair was spot on, but already he's out of the round with a double headshot from the AUG.
Oh, I mean, so far, Roy, you've got to feel for him. It's not been the performance they needed from him. 1 and 10 he currently sits on, and of course, the man advantage collected once again. Bob XD from behind finds one. Make that 2, in fact. Looking for the third, and Nikinos just completely lost in transition. Shine easy cleanup. And with 4 remaining players, Aura find 9. Trav, what a performance from the young Swedes. The 24th best team in the world are looking like just a shadow of their former selves.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I won't actually say I've seen anything so far from Copenhagen Flames that has been like, overwhelmingly terrible. I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
they've come out of the traps and really played badly. Roy's 1-10 scoreline looks bad, but he's just basically been owned. I mean, he hasn't been given the chance to do anything because Aura have been so good. That's just plainly how it is.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep mentioning it because I feel like this is the main point of this game and why we're at this scoreline right now. It's a best of one, and Aura have by far and away their best map in a best of one. And in best of
Oh, yeah.
ones, anything can happen. And at the moment, them somehow managing to get Overpass, which Copenhagen Flames will be looking back on and thinking, why on earth didn't we ban that? Is at the moment coming back to bite them.
Precisely that. I mean, they're literally being caught in this just tough position where they can't do anything. 9-3, a 6-round lead the CT side hold, and of course a map in which is CT sided, but not to this degree. Not to a degree where the underdogs are causing such the upset here. You've got to give credit to Aura. They have come out flying. They know in a best of one format, this is essentially a do or die situation. After a 16-1 defeat to G2, they've just got to give it their all. Try and do what they can, and so far that's working brilliantly. As Francis is going to double down. He again making that AUG work in his favour. And already, Copenhagen Flames are left at quite the significant man disadvantage. Yabi finds himself one, but quickly traded.
Yeah, that's that's the sort of situation where, again, getting more one frag in response is all you can really do. That was a perfect flash from Hype toward middle. It took the attention away. They might not have been necessarily blind, but they were more aware of where that flash came from rather than the player toward party, and they get punished for it. Easy 2k for Franson once again, and he can even fall back and keep his gun. So, I mean, just look at the scale of domination right now. Look at the 3 players on Aura. They've got 15k, 15.1, 15.4, 15.8. That just shows that the CT side is absolutely perfect right now. And in a 2v4 for Copenhagen Flames, damage doesn't really matter anymore because the economy's that good. They need rounds at this point. Hype misses a few shots towards long, so he's going to be under pressure, but Franson's again got the timing here, flanking the bathroom position. Zyphon's there. What can he do about it? I don't think he's aware at all. One taps down Hype. That's a good start. And Franson maybe it's a little bit late in the situation, but I think he's still going to be there on time. No, Hooksy finds him. What a big round this could be for Copenhagen Flames. Then it's still here, though. Tapping away from the flank. Hooksy's down. Now it's all down to Zyphon in a 1 versus 2.
Yeah, 1 versus 2. Zyphon needs to pull off something special. Would wait for the post plant to, show its face, essentially. The crossfire, immaculate, and of course, a brilliant start from Franson once again.
Yeah, I mean, but these sort of teams that people, won't have necessarily heard of before, I mean, they play good, aggressive CS, and they play perfect basics as well. If your basics are good, work on your basics first. Once you get your basics down, you can do stuff like this, and then you can start going for more fancy plays. With the org, with the with the flashes, trying to push aggressively. And once you've sorted those out, you can become a really good team. You can have a specialist map, and then you can start growing your map pool. It seems like we're at a stage right now for Aura where Overpass, it's their map. Well, they're not willing to let it go. I mean, Copenhagen Flames struggling a lot on this T side. They desperately need these final 2 rounds of the half, I feel. We saw, pardon me, we saw Skade lose a 10-5 earlier and come back to win. So it's still very possible, of course, on CT. But at the same time, this is a scary one at the moment if you're Copenhagen Flames. They would have been expecting a lot more at this point.
They, of course, you'd expect way more of the likes of the Flames, but so far it's just not been playing in that way at all. 10-3, the penultimate round of the half, and as we speak, the Flames, of course, will be able to pick up by lose this round, and this could be things working in their favour. Yabi gets timing to his favour. A nice entry from him as the AK is put to good use. BobXD spamming away, not going to be able to connect. Smoking a flash dropped in close, as he's just trying to lock up the site from a little bit of an off angle. From above, in fact, could cause the issues. Soundcue's been hurt, but Yabi doubling down made all the difference before BobXD and Zen joined forces.
Yeah, I mean, again, they had 2 opening picks, but they only have 2 players in this situation, and that's because they've got a player on long as well. That's a really important pick from Hooksy, though. That could really change the round in their favour. This player toward long, that is Roy. He's in a perfect position right now to maybe catch off one of these players. Only 1 frag on the board so far, 1-11. He'd think he knows there's a player on green bin. He's on top of the green bin, should be able to swing onto him, but no, again, he just can't hit a headshot. Roy can't hit a shot this game so far. I feel bad for him at this stage because at the moment, his team need him, and he's not there to save them. 2 versus 2. The bomb is in position, and that's a lovely shot from Hooksy. That should seal it. Franson has done some fantastic work so far. Another 1 versus 2 for Aura. They won one earlier via Shine. Now they need one via Franson, creeping up toward the heaven position, jump spotting in from Hooksy. I think he might have got some information. It's going to be very close indeed. And he'll drop his pistol into water to make the fake drop. Are they going to be biting on it? I don't think they are. It does make a different sound. Now he'll drop down for good. He does have a defuse kit, but he does not have a smoke. I'm sure Copenhagen Flames will play this as an immediate trade, and they'll even go in together straight away. That is good teamwork. They had the insurance policy of the final player coming in as well. And they'll get themselves their fourth, just. And it's a situation now where 5, basically imperative.
Yeah, I mean, so far, for Copenhagen Flames, it's a question of whatever they can muster up. And this is a similar scoreline to what we saw in Fiend Skate, so by no means are we going to count out the Flames at all, right? I mean, you know, Fiend picked up a 10-5 half, and it turned completely on its head with Skate winning that one of 16-14, so we're not by any means going to count out the Flames, but they just don't look like the same side that we know and love. They don't look like that dominant Tier 2 side who've been sort of paving the way and, I guess, bridging the gap between Tier 2 and Tier 1. As they're down by 6 rounds as we speak. Of course, Nick's taking an early bit of damage, down to 61 points of health, but still all 5 remain alive.
Yeah, I mean, it shows as well, I mean, the scale of their dominance in this game. The fact that, you know, 3 of the players on Aura at one point had, you know, $45,000 combined. So, yeah, he could have himself a lineup here, or the Galil, very nicely done from him. 2 frags as they push toward Monster. Aura finally getting caught out on some of their aggression. That double push toward Monster does try and bait high pin with the AWP, but Nico will find the feet and clear him out. So this should be the fight for Copenhagen Flames. This is what they needed. As I mentioned, I'll mention it again. Skade came back from a 10-5 deficit.
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Oro take a 10-5 half over the arguably favourites of Copenhagen Flames. There's a David versus Goliath story in the Scandinavian scene, and so far it's David who seems to be putting up quite the performance.
Yeah, Oro looking fantastic on that CT side. Basic CS, basic clean CS, aggression at the right time, patience at the right time is working out for them, and they get themselves double digits on the half. And a great chance at making an upset here. I'll be fascinated to see if they can make their T side work, because Copenhagen Flames, they'll be feeling under pressure in this situation despite the win they got yesterday. Oro only got one round against G2 as you'd expect, and we've got a rush in against Monster here. It's going to be a big one. Yabi gets two just about, has to reload on the corner. Bit of surfing. Can he get a second frag? Oh, he can as well. 3 in total, and that activates Hooksy to peak. That is probably one of the first times I've seen surfing actually work out in an actual live match, and he'll get himself a third on the pistol. That is exactly what Copenhagen Flames need to keep themselves going in this one. There's the first, there's the second, out of bullets, a little bit of surfing while during the reload. Oh, he just about gets down, ignored by the second player somehow, but getting that extra frag was the key in the end.
Yeah, and Yabi so far has just been one of the key factors for Copenhagen Flames, who just been keeping them alive. He's been consistently finding damage at the very least. Well, he might not be, sort of positive in terms of frags. I mean, he's on like 160 ADR at the moment, so far so good. Overall, though, still a decent kind of position or a stand-in. Of course, the buy component isn't going to be nothing. No bomb plant, very few kills means that just the Glocks coming in. Those Glocks are full sending it down, sure. Nico's got the information, spots a bit of damage as well onto a Shine, but having to fall away. We'll find the first, look at double it down, and will in fact connect. As Roy to find one of his own as well. He's been slow, but finally finds another kill to his name.
Come on, Roy. There we go. he needs some money here. He needs some confidence. I mean, this is exactly what can start off your game. It's easy to have a rough T side on Overpass sometimes against a team that's playing out of their minds. But if you can get started on the CT side, that can give you some confidence. And yeah, it's going to be curious to see if he can get started, because he's been the most quiet one on the Copenhagen Flames and indeed the entire server so far. We mentioned, the two players that have really done the best work at the moment, Yabi and Hooksy. I mean, Hooksy's maybe almost top fragging in the server still. Only one behind Bobak, who's the hero of Oro in that half. And now, with Copenhagen Flames having beaten those Glocks, as you would expect, we're going to see them on a full buy. 5 AKs, and of course, having saved once, that means they do go up against the MP9 and the FAMAS, so they're slightly favoured, but this is a lovely angle from Roy. Maybe some confidence now. Silencer and 4 about to go. The beautiful M4A1S Night skin with the crown foils doing work right now, but he needs to pull out the USB, and he will get taken down. Shine has found Nico in the meantime as well, so that actually does mean it's a man advantage for Aura. What they need.
Exactly what they need. And of course, man advantage on T side, all they have to do is just play the trade game. I mean, it's the perfect position to be in, but so far, they don't have a lot of map control, which does become problematic. Short water, not under their hold as we speak, but it's Franson leading the charge over towards Monster. It's completely uncontested. Zyphon needs to pull off something special here, holding into a sandbag, but Bobek's team may have spotted him. Does not matter. Zyphon picks him across, and a flashback to follow suit. Maybe Zyphon in a tough spot. He'll go down. The trade coming in.
Oh, that's a lovely shot again from Franston. That second headshot has basically sealed this round. It's all down to Hooksy on a FAMAS. As I mentioned, top frag of a Copenhagen Flames. He is in a 1 versus 3, winnable one, but he doesn't check his bottom right. Who knows what Resi's playing? Perhaps he didn't spot him in that situation. And that now means that Aura do win the round they're technically supposed to win. They've become the bonus buy, but because the bonus buy was only 1 round, obviously, as Copenhagen Flames beat the Glocks, it was a full eco from Aura. They're basically broken already. I mean, they've got about 3.5k per player. Zyphon's on 5.2. Buying would be, a bad idea, I think, in this stage. And they're going to go for a full eco. So, yeah, this should be Aura up to 12 with Copenhagen Flames on a long comeback trail.
Yeah, I mean, for Copenhagen Flames, things are not looking comfortable for them. They're going for the gamble stack over towards Long, and they've read this poorly. Of course, it is a gamble, and the gamble that so far has not paid off. The luck is not on their side as we speak, as it looks like they're making their way over towards B, and what will be a hopefully uncontested B site. As hype clears, they're going to realize, hang on a second, we get a free plant here, and the full rotation coming forward. Now they're, of course, going to be oh so aware of the flank, and with Bob XD and Shine holding down the fort, an easy round in favour of Aura. It's going to be a 12 on the board, and there's literally nothing that Copenhagen Flames can do. Maybe able to find a consolation at that. Shine does take a small amount of damage. But all in all, easy 12th. Really good read from Aura. They just went aggressive. They knew they had the better firepower as well, and that's how you play it.
Yeah, absolutely. Confidence is the name of the game, and they're showing great amounts of it right now. Hype getting himself 3 frags, padding those stats against the USPs. And I'm actually impressed with Copenhagen Flames, their patience in this one. I mean, they could have easily bought up pistol armor on 3 of their players, but I think they realise at the moment the magnitude of this situation, that they might actually be on their way to drop a map here against Aura when they are the overwhelming favourites, especially after Aura got taken down 16-1 by G2 yesterday. Of course, G2 is a whole different prospect, but at the same time, you know, full ecoing there means you are absolute full strength for this round. You had 7k on Zyphon. Nico will obviously have the AWP available. So they're at absolute full strength, not risking anything in that previous. And now we get to see what Aura could do against a full buy. Both teams know the importance of this one.
Yeah, this is monumental. Looking forward long term, this is where things can essentially do or die as we speak. And well, actually, for Aura, they're already going for an aggressive short take. They've got that under their position. They're going for the boost. In fact, Franson waiting for an opportunity. He's been a utility to allow for a somewhat safe peek, as he's understanding that there's a chance of being held here. Bob XD spamming his way forward, not going to catch anything, but Franson, what a strong angle. If he gets timing on his favour, he can find an opening kill with ease. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Zyphon, not expecting it at all. And the nade to follow suit as well makes it all the more harder. Yabi spamming full blind, connects, and in fact, shutting it down with the M4A4.
Shine will trade it though, and that basically will probably be the call to save if you're Copenhagen Flames. I mean, they'll check the monster smoke, maybe wary there's it being someone in there. Roy is going for it. Maybe Copenhagen Flames realizing at this stage, maybe we kind of need rounds. We need to go for some of these and give ourselves a chance in this game. But this is going to be another fantastic take from Aura. The fast boost. Often we see the boost sort of mid to late round to try and catch a pick. This one was done basically immediately with around minute 30 left on the clock. And there goes Roy. That is the cue to leave. If you are Nico and Hooksy, this will be 13 for Aura, just 3 away from winning a map as the biggest underdog in IEM, in the IEM Fall RMR. That would just be absolutely remarkable. They kind of force a hunt as well with Hype and Shine on around 5k, 3k together. Hooksy will take a second. But if they can take these guns out of CT hands, that's a big factor going ahead. Zen is hunting for more. Can he find them? Nico's on the angle, the AWP. Really, it's important for Aura not to give up everything. I think 2 is probably enough, and they'll choose to choose to do just that. So 13-7, 2 guns saved. This is tough. What do you do here?
Yeah, you got to feel for Yabi as well to a degree. I mean, he's got 13 kills to his name, but 145 ADR. You'd expect a couple more. Yeah. He's just been unable to just get that finishing blow. And of course, because of that, Aura are just playing the trade game. It's a tough position to be in. Yabi's a superstar on this side. And of course, just unable to find that last little bit of damage. Again, look at this from the Aura side. They're full sending it into the scope of Zyphon. The FAMAS spraying, connecting, and finding an opener. And now actually Aura just doubling back completely.
They're doubling back into Yabi as well on the MP9. There's no way Shone's getting away from that one. And it can be so hard to do a lot of damage with a spam through the smoke with the FAMAS. Of course, the spray is probably one of the most confusing long-range sprays in the game, even for professionals. And it will manage to get 1 frag and a lot of damage. And actually, those 2 players remaining, Franson and Bobek, are the 2 players who were damaged from that spray. So this is an excellent bounce back from Copenhagen Flames. They should find 8 here. It's a nice clear up. Roy gets himself a frag as well, trying to build up some confidence now. It can be hard to get back into a game if you started it poorly, especially in a best of 1. One of the most difficult situations to find yourself in as a professional. Now, I'm going to try and creep up long here, or some damage to the CT economy would be excellent in this situation, but unfortunately I'll go straight into the crosshair of Hooksy, the top fragger for Copenhagen Flames, the one man who's been doing the best to join up with Yabi when it comes to ADR. And now Franson will probably look to save the AK, as money isn't amazing. 2 players on 5k, but they'll have to drop some.
So far, so good. Well, for Aura, for Franson, it is just about keeping that across. He's got 30 seconds to try and hide away, post himself up into a corner. I think for the most part, he probably should be okay. The CT side aren't really too aware of roughly where he is. And I'm not going to go too hunting at all with just over 10 seconds. It should be a pretty comfortable save for the likes of Franson, but that is much better from Copenhagen Flames. They looked a bit discombobulated on their CT side at times. They were just, consistently caught in no man's land. No real control at all of the map, and of course the tempo off the back of it, that's much better. They actually look for the fights, and of course, managing to find exactly those kills in their favour left them in a very strong position. The aggression from Aura, however, is the big question for me. You know, you're in a really strong position where you know that if you win this round, you break that Copenhagen Flames economy, and they decide to just send it through a smoke. It's maybe showing ever so slightly the naivety of the side.
Honestly, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I mean, they're excited. They're leading 13-7 against the top 30 team in the world. You're on LAN. Your average age of the team is under 20. I mean,
Yeah.
this is a humongous situation for Aura to find themselves in. Winning a match would just be absolutely incredible for them. And yeah, going through a monster smoke against the sprays of the FAMASs and the M4s is never usually going to work out. If you're going through a smoke in wider choke points, the monster, then sure, maybe you've got a chance to spread out, but when it's so common to line up, that is maybe not a choice. They'll probably try and repeat in the rest of this half. But it's still going to be a 13-8 lead. They don't have any reason to panic as of yet, but as you say, naivety, nerves can come into the equation at this sort of stage with Copenhagen Flames at full strength. Aura have the money to go for a buy, of course. They have the open hype as well. Can they bounce back? This would be a huge round to win. If they don't, Copenhagen Flames could easily pull the lead back to, just 2 or 3.
Oh, of course, exactly that as we speak. Well, for Aura, for them, it's about just trying not to get overzealous. I think, as you mentioned, they're young. This is probably their first LAN or one of their firsts. It's very easy to get overexcited when you're in this position. You're winning against a top side. Nicholas missed shot. Information gain, of course, have a rough understanding of where he's posted up. Flashbang will come through. He needs to be careful not to be caught in transition. And XD will just spam through in the common angle to no avail, though. Nicholas has the ability to fall away. And, of course, now, off the back of it, a reset, I guess you could call it.
Oh, Roy gets some information there toward Long. But pretty lucky to stay alive in that situation. Flash is coming in. Roy's forced to reveal his position. And with 2 players here, can he get away? The boost needs to be fast. Will it catch one? Roy's now in the cubby. I think Hype knows it. That smoke may have just covered it. I don't think he knows. That is very hard to tell whether he's aware of that or not. But it still could be critical information and a critical timing there for Roy to be able to fall back in the nick of time. Literally, half a second difference and he could have been taken down. And now Nico has a chance to do some damage from Bank. Spots another player close toward Long, gets some damage or at least some information as he gets grenaded down to around 89 HP. They're going to advance toward the A site though, up to a banana. Roy gets one and that's where Nico can peek for more. Now Franklin can hit some headshots. He's getting pinched from 3 different angles though, and this is a huge sight hold for Copenhagen Flames. All 5 players remaining alive. Excellent for the future economy. Are Aura starting to show some cracks?
Yeah, we talk about, crossfires and passivity when it comes to holding down those sites, and that is just excellently played. Copenhagen Flames, all they needed to do was hold their ground. They needed to wait and sort of bank off the mistakes of Aura. And again, we spoke about this young side slightly being overzealous and just, overextending, really. And they get punished for it. Really well played. The Copenhagen Flames showing their experience, as you mentioned. Maybe a couple of cracks in the armor for Aura now, who at one point looked unstoppable.
Yeah, and the Copenhagen Flames, I mean, they sort of exposed Aura's plan there. I think there was a little bit of a lack of utility, a lack of flashbangs in that take. Didn't really give them the best chance to get close to the site with the AWP still on the angle. No smoke for Bank, no smoke, for Green Bin, I don't believe either. And even if there was, Copenhagen Flames just had the chance to peek ahead of it with 2 players near truck. So, yeah, it was too much to cope with. Now with Aura down to pistols, it should be double digits for Copenhagen Flames, and somehow, out of nowhere, they'll just be 3 behind. They need to keep their calm as well, and they should be back into this game very comfortably indeed. Aura, do they start to run out of ideas at this stage? It's a tough one.
That is the question, of course, holding or connecting, but not quite finding the kill. Because then 18 points of health, he's just about staying alive, but of course, just a Glock in hand. We don't really expect him to find too much regardless. It's going to be an easy cleanup for Copenhagen Flames. A 10th collected, and now at 10-13, a couple of questions have to start being asked, right? For Aura, they're at one point looking in a real position of strength where it looked actually like they should have closed out this game, right? I mean, Copenhagen Flames looked like a complete shadow of their former selves with, no real idea of what was happening. But now they've started to come alive, and I think it's more actually off the back of Aura making kind of rookie mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a CT side of Overpass for you, isn't it? I mean, Aura had a good start. They got the 10-5, and they got 3 rounds. They made it to 13-7. They sort of shared the first 5 as such. And that put them in a position at 13-7 to really push it forward. And then they made that play through the smoke, as we mentioned. And I think that's the one they might look back on and think, okay, maybe take our time a little bit, take short, late, mid-round, something like that. Try and work the site from there rather than just go straight through a smoke. One thing I did like to see from Aura was that fast short boot. If they do that again, that might be a good time to use it to try and catch out Copenhagen Flames. It worked out before. I want to see it work again. That could be something they could use to work out. But at the moment, we've got a boosting connector for Roy. Looking toward that short tunnel already. Franson's down to 17 HP on this buy round, and what is a critical one at that. Copenhagen Flames are doing so much work. Again, straight through a smoke from Shine. That was a bit off that spray, but it's not going to matter. 2 frags for him, almost a third. He's helped out by his friend as well in Roy in connector, and already with 35 HP on Zen and 17 on Franson, this round is already basically done for.
Yeah, this is more or less done and dusted here. There's nothing really at all this T-side can do unless they can pull off something special. With Franson and Zen on such low HP, surely not, right? I mean, so far it's just been Copenhagen Flames doing a brilliant job. And of course, we spoke about this earlier. You know, smart and simple CSGO on your CT side. All you have to do, just wait for the mistakes. And that's what we're seeing. Aura overextending into these crossfires and into these sort of positions with the CT side. They don't need to do anything special. All they have to do is hold down one specific angle and click mouse 1, and that's all it takes. For Aura, they now go back to the drawing board, think of a new plan. I think Nicholas may have spotted a pixel there, missed shot in fact. Molotov coming in close. Now needs to wait for the rotation to come through. At least his Molotov will keep them at bay for the time being. Bob HT, the only player on this T side with any sort of notable health, as we've got somewhat of understanding. Backman coming forward, Roy avoids it. It's picked off, however.
Yeah, that's big as well, but look where Nico is on the edge of the site. The bomb's going to be planted, but Zen's in the way, and there's Nico again. No scope up close. I mentioned I wanted to see him shine, and now we're starting to see it. CT side, of course, so much easier for the AWPer, and a quick little bit of a half wall bang toward that planter. And a quick no-scope to finish it off as well. Aura couldn't get that bomb planted. Of course, Bobek has been pretty much the hero, one of the main heroes for Aura in this game at 19 to 16. He's been fragging the hardest and did some fantastic stuff on the CT side. In the end, he got the entry, but it wasn't enough. And now just to the gap with Aura on pistols. That is, this is getting scary now. And of course, we're at a situation now where even though the Copenhagen Flames lost a few members in that previous round, they still have 3 AKs in this one.
Exactly, and of course, they're trying to make those 3 AKs work in their favour, but it's Franson who finds the opener. Tech 9 at that sort of range, it's well, it's a bit of a 50-50 fight, has to be said. Sparring forward, though, Hooksy awareness on another level as he finds himself a nice trade, looking to double down, in fact. The low HP on Hype will fall away to reload and nearly hunted down, but as the crossfires are set up once again. Hype, low on HP, Bob XD only got 55 points of health. What was a strong start is now looking all the more weaker for the T sides. They're actually going to go for a slight boost here, and this AK will make all the difference.
Jump spots coming in close as well. Will they take the play on barrels? They do. And Hooksy's actually pretty lucky to get away with his life in that situation as well. He could have easily caught a stray bullet on that jump peak. So they have a man advantage, but they have players who are walking wounded, 13 and 14 HP respectively. Roy should easily take one, and that's the bomb carrier as well. That should be the information that's enough to seal this one. They have the 1 AK, of course, but it's a very difficult one, of course, with no head armor either. Susceptible to that silenced M4. Some pressure toward Nico on the site. Gets tapped away by the Tech 9. Takes a dink down to 27 HP, but some damage is exchanged. Puts Bobek down to 4 HP. Somehow that grenade goes a little bit too deep to be able to catch him, but he has to fall right back off of this. He's now joined by a teammate. Will be joined by a teammate soon, but he doesn't need one as of yet. Nico deals with him. 3 versus 2, and it looks like the panic is about to be over. Roy stops the bomb, and they should get 12. That was scary for a second. Of that first frag coming in was a dangerous one. That's a ridiculous shot from Branson though. He almost has a chance at a clutch. I tell you what, the first one was incredible. If he gets that spray down, he's in a 1v1 versus Nico on an AWP. That could be very, very winnable indeed. But as it is, the gap is close to 1, and Copenhagen Flames just about escape the pistols.
Yeah, they just about keep themselves in a strong stead. But of course now, 13 to 12. This game that at one point was looking all or more, essentially all closing this one out, right? It looked like the underdogs were going to pull off The David versus Goliath of the century here in IEM Fall is now Copenhagen Flames 1 round behind, 1 away from tying this one up. And of course, for Aura, they can pick up a full bite coming into this. They've got the Orb, the 4 AKs, things looking good in that sense. Long-term economy, though, in a really dire strait. Spamming the way forward, Hooksy trying to find one through the smoke. He's a player who has been so far the difference maker for the Flames, and it's all about his life in here. All about timing on the P.
This is insane. He's got about 4 players in front of him. Gets 2 on the spray down. That's more than he probably could have expected in that position. But Bobek's looking to pounce on it. Hooksy is in position, but that's a perfect crosshair placement on the first. And he can hide towards Monster as well. If he walks into the really pit, it could be a problem. Hype does deal with him. Recovers it into a 2v3. But unfortunately, the bomb is dropped in a tough spot. And look where Yabi is. He's in a great spot to hold for any rotations. There's a minute on the clock for Aura to try and figure this one out. But they are in a tough spot. Man disadvantage, bomb sort of in the open as well. It's in the middle of no man's land at the moment. It can be spotted by many different angles on Copenhagen Flames. And a boost towards CT as well for Roy. That could easily sort this one out. The bomb is a little bit behind default, not spottable, but he should be able to deal with Hype coming through Monster in a matter of seconds. Does Hype pick this angle out? That would be an insane pick to find. If he does look for this one first, Roy will continue with this boost. I like this choice from Copenhagen Flames, to be honest. Flash coming in, avoided by Roy, and there's some information. So I'll have to fall back off it straight away and play it safely. Oh, Roy not playing it safely, though. He's just holding W toward the site. He does get one towards Zen, but Hype responds. 1 versus 2 with 20 seconds on the clock. Bomb is available, but no. Yabi will then peek from short. And we're even, Neo. After all that, 13 all.
Oh yeah, after all that talk of, oh no, Aura are going to take down the 24th best team in the world, it's going to be the upset of the century. We're back to 13 apiece, and it has to be said, deservedly so, in fact. Copenhagen Flames, since coming onto the CT side, have been revitalized. This is the side that we know and love. This is why Copenhagen Flames are in this contention for, breaking out of the tier 2, moving in towards the tier 1, bridging that gap as being a side who have played one of the most maps in 2021. And well, it shows they got the perseverance under their belt. BobXD going aggressive though, actively looking for the fight for Tech 9. He's pushing through Molotovs. He does not care about the yo-yo utility. He wants to take this fight, and actually Copenhagen Flames, they're going to fall all the way back.
Yeah, it's smart to do as well against the pistols. They would have known. I think 1 Tech 9 bullet was fired, so they would have been completely aware that these pistols are very scary. And already we've got Bobek close up as well. He's trying to tap down 1, but Roy will stop him. Good timing on his peak. He's shown up a little bit more on this CT half, and that's what we wanted to see from him. 12 and 19, started a rough game, but overall, he's put up a pretty decent CT. And now, 4 pistols remain. Copenhagen Flames, they are even, or have done such great work with boost towards short, plays toward Monster. But it's starting to run out, I feel, at the moment.
Yeah, I do have to agree. Hype jumping his way forward. This Yabi finding a 2 with ease before he's traded the Deagle. Nearly connecting on a second, but it's actually going to be a Tech 9, causing more damage than expected. Franson will at least get that bomb down. Actually going to tap it, in fact. Maybe he should have committed for long-term economy. Not going to be the case, though. 14 to 13, and at one point, Aura running away with this best of 1, looking like they were going to pick up a 1-to-1 in the groups. It's now in the other hand. The Copenhagen Flames, they've persevered, they're revitalized, and they found 14, the 2 away from the all-elusive 16 to take a 2-0 in groups. And we said that this is a team looking forward who we'd expect to maybe make it through to those next stages.
Yeah, this is a really nice, calm response from Copenhagen Flames, to be honest. I mean, you can imagine what they'll be feeling at 13-7 down, but they haven't lost a round since. And now it's down to Bobek to possibly try and recover this situation. Try and show up again. Nico pushing toward long. We saw that from Dennis early on in the Skade versus Fiend game, how effective that can be. And they're seeing it for the first time from Nico. Zen is creeping around this connector smoke, looking to try and make something happen. But Hooksy has got all angles covered. Franson's already aggressive up towards short. Siphon is down to 17 HP. He was tagged early on. So this is still a possibility for Aura with the fact that HP is low on that CT defender, and Hype will just go straight in for that duel. Actually wins it toward Roy, so that is an excellent recovery. Keeps them alive. And now, with the bomb grouping up toward B, it looks like we could be going in for a bit of a play. A minute left on the clock. What is their decision here? It could be a tough one. It's a big one either way.
Yeah, so far, 4 versus 4. More damage dealt over towards the CT side with Zypher and low HP behind. That's a brilliant pick. Hooksy maybe a little bit overzealous with the jump peak there, gifting a free frag over towards the AWP, and at that sort of range, it's only going to go one way. Now if that kill fired, they're going to go for the full rotation. There's only one remaining pillar over towards the A bomb site, and well, so far, Hype has got all the information, knows exactly where he is. He's playing for the no-scope battle, and Hype, quick scope, easy picking, shotgun AWPing, in fact, clears the A bomb site as the smokes follow suit. Yabby will find a consolation, but this bomb will get planted relatively uncontested.
I mean, the thing that for Copenhagen Flames is they can afford to go for the retake. You've got Hooksy on 10.8, Nico on 13k for this situation. Hype in position, they're looking for the ace on the AWP. Gets the leg shot, helped out by Franson. And even though Nico gets a response, Hype gets a humongous 4k. Hype for Hype, guys. That is fantastic stuff from him. They're keeping them in the game. 14 all. We're guaranteed round 30. What a round to win to even up this game. What a time for him to pick up 4 on the AWP. The T-set AWP could be so hard to get into the action sometimes, but he made it happen, pushing aggressively on basically all 4 kills. Here's the first, catching off Roy, looking toward Fountain. The second was catching the jump peak of Hooksy perfectly, and he even took the battle up, as you said, toward the A site, hearing the player rotating up toward the back of Dice. And he played it to perfection. This is quite literally anyone's game now. Copenhagen Flames will be feeling it, or will be feeling it more than ever. Timeout coming in, as you'd expect, to try and relax a little bit. This is literally, this is, as the old saying goes in English football, squeaky bum time.
Oh, exactly that. I mean, it's right down to the wire. The full 30 going to be played out here, and it's a tough one to call. I guess if you talk about momentum, or in a really strong position to cause somewhat of an upset here, which would be, without a doubt, the upset of... well, so far what we've seen in IEM Fall and this RMR, for Aura to pull up a win here would be nothing short of spectacular against the 24th best team in the world. What? The full 30 will be played out at least, and the question starts to beg as well. Is this maybe an overtime on the cards?
Yeah, we haven't had one so far today. We've had some very close games and some very fascinating games, but look where Hype is. Shine's found one, and he should be able to catch Nico as well, and there we go. 2 opening picks, easy for Aura, but they still have to worry about Hooksy and Connector. He's unaccounted for, should get the first. It drops the bomb as well, huge amount of information, but he's stuck behind the Molotov. He can't fall back, now he can, but they should be able to herd the bomb off toward the A site here. What can Zyphon do? 12 and 19, he needs to do something on this defense to keep Aura at bay. Bomb will go down. I think they can buy next round Copenhagen Flames, so the save might not be a necessity. 4v3, 2 players coming up toward bank. Franson can help out with some utility. There's no one coming in for the flank, so there is one player disconnected from the action. But Bobek behind the smoke. Surely this catches out 2 players here. Is he going to look away at the wrong time? Surely not. Gets one, but not the second. This keeps Copenhagen Flames alive. 2v3. There is not a smoke for the bomb, I tell a lie. Yabby's just picked one up. They can possibly get a player on the bomb here. Hype is in position though, and Franson is still close. Looking for this defuse. Gets on the bomb. There's one. Surely they find him in the smoke here. It's going to be so close. Knives coming out. Will it happen? It needs to be fast though. He'll make it, but no! It's Copenhagen Flames to win it on the defuse. Oh my god!
No.
Is that more... That's the most heartbreaking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, that is just... oh, criminal. If you're Aura, they're in such a strong position. They find Yabby, and all they have to do is drop Hooksy, and the bullets just... they just don't connect.
Oh.
Hooksy is like Neo from the Matrix, dodging bullets left, right, and center, finding the defuse through the smoke.
I can't
and
believe
at 15th on the board. We said we're getting the full 30, but it's Copenhagen Flames who are 1 round away. Oh, what a game we have got here so far.
I can't believe that. That was a 2 versus 4. That was a 1 versus 4 in the end, just via the defuse. I mean, I think he was out of bullets, which is why he didn't commit to the spray. But, I mean, I'm absolutely gobsmacked by what I've just witnessed. Copenhagen Flames have quite literally, what can I say? That is possibly the jammiest way to win this game. If they do win it, it's 16-14, you could possibly imagine. And it's just incredible heartbreak for Aura. Young team on land for the first time. I'm going to keep repeating it. I can't believe we're in this position for them. They're going to be so hurt by this. I hope it doesn't put them off, because this is still a great possibility of overtime. They have a bye. They knew what worked for them in the previous round. Oh, Neo, can they do it? This would be a fantastic recovery if they could.
Yeah, the pressure, right? It's going to be just so built up on their shoulders. We mentioned, we'll say again, of course, like young side, first time on LAN, the experience isn't there. And in these sort of situations, you can make the mistakes just based off the fact of not knowing how to compose yourself. It's all down to the wire. They'll know that this is a do or die situation. Hence why they don't want to do anything aggressive, anything overzealous, because could be the end of them. Could be them going 0-2 in the group, which begs a tough situation to say the least. In comes the utility, however. Nicholas holding into his Barford. Francis will even clear it. He does, but to no avail. Nicholas finds a shot, and on the side, Hooksy, the man of the moment, the man of this best of one, will find one. But it's Roy coming alive. He's on a slow start, but it's down to the 1 versus 1. 1 versus 3, may I say. They're just not going to be able to convert. It's a 16-14.